We're back with Rabbi Mordechai Anati. Rabbi, we talked about education, and I'd like now to speak to you about something a little less pleasant. We live in this most benevolent of democracies, the United States of America, and thank God people are able to express themselves here, study whatever they wish, and it's a true democracy, as is Israel, the only democracy in the troubled Middle East. Various administrations have been friendly to Israel, some more, some less. Now there is talk of pushing Israel into a situation in which Israel would go back to the pre-1967 armistice lines. And my question to you is, the Arabs did not make peace with Israel when the 1967 lines were there. They did not make peace. So why would they make peace today if we go back to the 1967 lines? Some people ask this question. I'd like your thoughts on it.
Richard, like I said before, obviously it's some move like this. It's of course it's not only forbidden, and not only for our benefits as Jewish people, talking about the security borders, that this has to do with protecting our nation, but natural borders, which already we have done beyond what we were supposed to. We weren't supposed to give the Sinai Peninsula, as we see now, of the danger of it. But the reason is, again, like I go back, when there is a confusion and people do not know what to do or where to go, you always go back to the book. In the land of Israel, it has the borders given to us, and it's written clearly in the Bible.
This is very confusing to many people, Rabbi, because frankly, there is proof of a Jewish existence in Israel going back thousands of years, yet Islam was just created 1300 years ago in the 7th century. How can they claim to have rights to Israel when they actually just founded their religion after the Jewish religion? In fact, the Arabs have more land than the United States. Why do they want Israel?
The reason why they want Israel, because Israel, obviously, everybody to some degree is connected and want to be as close to God as possible. But the point is that God says that He chose us, the Jewish nation, chose the land of Israel, and chose us to live in the land of Israel. Now, there's certain places in Israel that it's actually mentioned in the Torah already that going to be a conflict later on. For example, it's mentioned that when Abraham came to Hebron, he bought it. He insisted of buying it in money. So it will belong to us for generations.
Yet in the 20s, in the last century, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Rabbi, long before the modern state of Israel was reborn, back in the early part of last century, the Muslims were butchering and massacring Jews in Hebron and elsewhere. Please remind our audience about that fact.
It's very obvious. This is our forefather city, been there for all these generations. And you see how they are fighting and chasing us because they know that we have a true right for it. To mention what happened, all the massacres, and all what happened to the Jews.
Before the modern state of Israel.
Before the modern state, naturally, this is like, it's something that is ongoing. It's not from today. Basically, all nations, for one reason or another, but they really don't want to see us there. They don't want to see the Jewish people at all. It's the Jewish people represent the conscience of the world, the conscience of the world, and nobody wants to see us being there. So they're fighting over something that they know it's belong to us, and just like with the Torah, they're trying to come up with all kind of different, various versions who say it's belong to them, and bring documents that belong to them. But we know we have one document, and this document is the one that forever document. It's called the Bible. And the Bible was printed purposely to all people in the world. And in the Bible says specifically, what are the borders? That Jerusalem belongs to the Jews, and Hebron belongs to the Jews. Miraculously, we are existing, even though we are the minority of the world, even though we've been all the time persecuted all over the world, but we're still here. And we're here forever because God wants us here forever. We are the children of God, And he chose us, and he said, you are my beloved children, I want you here. So anybody who's going to try to harm or hurt the Jewish people, eventually going to suffer, going to be coming to a conclusion that this is not the way. Like we said, that eventually will be one leader to the whole world. And everybody going to obey to this one leader. And also what you see, even in the natural disasters that happening in the world, it's not a coincidence. Things like this, all this shaking of the world is for one thing, to shake the world in order to receive it, to becoming and receiving the Mashiach who's going to come, and this is the purpose.
Rabbi, before we conclude this interview, I know that you spread the word on Jewish life and Jewish teaching in so many places. On this program, you'll be seen on the JLTV network, reaching more than 31 million homes throughout the United States. What special message would you like to convey to our audience, seeing you in distant places, distant parts of the United States?
It's actually, I don't want to bring my message out, because first of all, I appreciate the fact that you let me be interviewed in your program, Richard. And the only reason why I agreed, because I really do want to bring a message. And the message is not mine. The message is of the Lubavitch Rebbe. Lubavitch Rebbe, our rabbi, taught us how can you bring the redemption. Quoting the Maimonides. Maimonides was one great sage about 900 years ago. And the Maimonides said that a person should look at the world as equal. If he did one good deed, he would tilt this world to good. We have to look at the world every day. You do one mitzvah, you do one command, and you'll be able to tilt the world in the proper way to redemption. Being in this world, whether you're a Jewish person or you are from the Noids, and for all other nations, do one act of goodness and kindness.
Rabbi,
thank you.
Your words are very inspiring, and thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
To be on your show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rabbi. I'll be right back.
In 1991, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, King Moshiach demands from us to do everything that is in our power to bring Mashiach now.
Zog Teilas Hennes und Teilas Chaim, Yevor B'chaim, Tera Welt Heim.
Rabbi Mordechai Anati hears these words and takes action.
This concludes our special show for today from On Location in South Florida. I'm Richard Peritz. Thank you for being with us.